Greetings tankers and welcome, I'm Eekeeboo, or David, and today we're bringing you a development presentation video all about our new game mode, and I'm going to be joined by two amazing, excellent expertise and very experienced guests who are going to give you all the breakdown of information, the reasons why and what we're doing, and so I'm going to let them introduce themselves now with...
Hello, my name's Dima. I'm a game designer and the design owner of this particular project. It means that I'm responsible mainly for creative direction of this feature.
Yeah. Hello guys, my name is Yan and I'm working as game designer in Wargaming, and for last 2 or 3 years I've been working on Team Clash and Weekend Brawl.
Okay, and so basically the game is Onslaught, and it's going to be a... Who wants to start?
So Onslaught is the new game mode. It is a dynamic, competitive 7 versus 7 game mode that you can play either solo or in platoons. It has a ranked system you can climb in. It has a bunch of specific new additions that we will be talking a bit later. The Onslaught is the result of our creative search after the success of Weekend Brawl and Team Clash, also known as Battle of the Bloggers. We've got a lot of positive feedback on 7 versus 7 battles. They're pretty dynamic, pretty fun, very exciting, but they had their own problems. They was kind of repetitive. And the events themselves were run for a short period of time. So like Weekend Brawl was on the weekends, as the name states.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. There was a small selection of maps, the only center base, nothing to do on those maps. So it had its own issues. So after those events, we kind of sat down and thought, what can we add to that? How can we make it more exciting? How can we run it for a longer period of time?
Yep.
What else can we do with that? So we just grabbed all the ideas, brainstormed a lot. We actually had a lot of different pitches and concepts in the beginning.
Yeah, 4 or 5 maybe.
Yeah, something like that. So most of them didn't went through. So we ended with Onslaught, and that's what we'd like to talk today.
Okay, so I know 7v7 was a very popular thing going on, and the community seemed to enjoy it very much for its relaxed and very fast-paced atmosphere. But one part was a bit of frustration with the vehicles, maybe sometimes picked and involved. What vehicles are going to be available for players this time?
So Onslaught will be only available for tier 10 tanks, but only collectible and Tech 3 tanks will be participating, so no special vehicles, no chieftains and stuff like that.
Okay, and you mentioned as well about the duration of the mode, so does that mean roughly, is it going to be a longer thing?
It will be on a longer side, much longer side. So currently for the first launch, we're planning to run it for like maybe a month plus, maybe 40 days, something like that. We'll see. That's, I guess, the first time we run something like that for such a prolonged period of time.
Okay. Now, we of course, we have a lot of notes going on because it's quite a large game mode with lots of things to discuss. And one of the main parts that we know everybody's going to be very curious about is the rating system. So who can tell me how the rating system works?
Okay, so I can tell about it a little bit more. So basically, a rating system in Onslaught mode will be pretty simple. Every time when you win a battle, you will gain some amount of rating points, and every time when you lose a battle, you will lose some. But there are some additions. So actually, we will look at your performance and compare your performance to your team performance. And if you did well, you will earn additional points. And if you wasn't successful, you will earn a little bit less in case of win. So the same stuff for losers. So even if your team loses and you did everything perfectly, you will lose pretty small amount of rating points. And if you was not that successful, or you were AFK and something like this, you will lose pretty amount of points. Yeah.
Okay. And I know I'm going to highlight it because it's on your chest. Can you give us an outline of what some of those leagues or
for sure
or things would look like?
In Onslaught mode, we will have 7 ranks. 5 of them will be common, and 2 additional 5 common ranks will be named Debutant, Iron, bronze, silver, and gold, and 2 additional will be named champion and the legend. So, yeah.
Okay. And now, of course, I have to ask this of who had the highest rank between the two of you?
Definitely Yan.
Yeah,
the highest
I'm
rank.
planning to reach champion during the first season. I will be planning to play on EU servers. So even if I have enough time, I will try to climb to the legend. Yeah.
Okay.
So
that sounds good.
Ambitious.
yeah.
Yeah, totally not using any cheats or any big
Not
developer
for
red
sure.
buttons that go, I win.
Nah.
Nothing like, okay. I was hoping you could hook me up. Okay, so with the rating system, of course, everybody's going to be comparing this with other similar rating system modes that we've had, and with those came with rewards. Do we have something similar set this time?
Yeah, we actually split all the rewards in our game mode into different systems. So one of them is connected to ranks. Climbing your ranks up gives you some vanity items, mostly to show that you are part of the, skill group. Like I'm top of the top. That's why I have this particular style or emblem or different thing. And the second system doesn't check on your rank. It just checks how many battles you played. So it's a reward for effort. So no matter in what rank you play, maybe you're not a competitive player. Maybe you enjoy playing more casually. But if you win enough times, every time you win some specific amount of battles, you will get a reward. And there's few milestones splitted where you get rewards for each milestone, basically. Most of the non-vanity items, more gold, or not gold, sorry, silver, bonds, equipment,
Consumables and
yeah.
Okay.
Well, all these rewards will be connected to the effort, not the rank.
Okay. And so I know one thing that was a big deal in ranked in the past, was that somebody could still find a way of getting a chevron or a good reward from basically trying to camp at the back of the base the whole game and maximize damage. Is that going to be a similar system?
No, as I said previously, in Onslaught mode, if you win, all the teams will get some points, and if you lose, all the team will lose some points. But like I said, the new system will be based on your own performance in a battle. So no need to try to camp at the base and try to grab the chevron, because you will be the only one in the losing team who will get some. You'll better focus on your teammates, grab them to the victory, and earn points as a team.
Okay. So I do know that one of the reasons, or some of the reasons for the old system where if you were the top player on the losing team was because sometimes you can't help it if your team loses or somebody went AFK, you were more likely to lose that battle. Do we have a system to protect people from that misfortune?
Yes, we have an anti-AFK system. So every time a person will leave the battle, no matter what, during the lobby stage, during the battle, or even in the end of the battle, he will lose a pretty huge amount of points. And like I said previously, after the battle, we compare your result to your team results. So if the person left in the beginning, so that meant he did nothing. And in comparing to you, if you at least do some shots, you will be earn more points. Okay. And the person who left will be banned, from the first time he left, it will be not a long ban, 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, and the ban length will increase with how many matches this person lives in a small period of time.
So basically, that's a system that if you rage quit, it gives you some time to chill. Yep. The more you rage, the more time to chill it gives you.
I do know that there's a couple of people in EU in particular who are going to need that, not me. But there will be some people who are going to need that calm down zone, but also to prevent other people from affecting their chances of winning. And there was one other feature where as well that there is a system to protect people from just getting as many points as they can at the start and then just coasting through.
Oh yeah.
We call it ranked inactivity.
Yeah. I was searching for an English name in my head. So basically, that's the system that only works in top ranks. It looks at the amount of games you play. So every game you play adds you a charge of like activity, for example. Let's imagine that you have like 10 charges. You play 10 battles, you have 10 charges. If you stop playing, like the next day you haven't played any battles, it will take away 1 charge. After all charges are gone, if you have 0 charges, this system starts to withdraw rating points from you for inactivity. Basically, it means that if you played some amount of time, you can then like go on a vacation, like have a rest from the game. There's no problem with that, like a week or something. But it prevents you from like playing the first week and then dropping for 30 days, expecting that in the end you still will be in the top ranks. It helps other people to catch up with you.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's also not only a punishment system. If you are staying in a top tier ranks, you will receive a bonus daily. Like it's not will be a quest or something. You will just for being in a top ranks, you will every day receive some amounts of bonus.
The reason that we I know that was a lot of information on the rating system to kind of go through, but that's because we are introducing a rating-based matchmaking. So I don't know who wants to go first with this one.
Do you want?
Yeah. So like I said, first 5 ranks contains 4 divisions in each. So Matchmaker tries to matchmake the most beautiful battle. Like if you was in gold and you're division D, you will try to be matched with the same people. So from gold and division D. If you can't be matched with these people, if these people are not enough in a queue right now or something like this, we will try to find opponents nearby of your rank.
So I know that the rating-based matchmaking, or what is commonly done and called in Europe, is skill-based matchmaking, and ranked was a little bit contentious. Some people kind of liked it, some people didn't. Why are we using this system?
So as I mentioned in the beginning, we tried to build a system that will accommodate most of the players that want to play casually but still have a little bit of competitive, and people who are ready and prepared to participate in like very intense competitive race. So as Yan already said, we have 2 types of ranks, like the first 5 ones, like a base ranks, and 2 additional ones. The first 5 ranks do not depend on how how many points other people have. You're progressing through them, just winning, losing points if you lose, but we hope mostly progressing. But the last 2 ranks are tied to the actual race. It has a leaderboard, and the top rank that is called a legend is basically 10% of people from the rank master. So you can be in the last rank only if you're in top 10% of players ever inside the game mode. So that's where the actual racing and hardcore plays begins. And before that, just a fancy way to separate players based on how competitive they are.
So I do know, at least from my side, and please feel free to tell me if I'm wrong, but one of the things that comes with skill-based or rating-based matchmaker is that it allows you to trust the people you're with in the battle to hopefully think, behave, and do what you do or you expect them to do, rather than something completely wild.
Yeah, that's true, because I wouldn't be happy if I was playing on some top rank and there was a guy that just launches the game mode for the first time and he just basically don't know what's happening around. That would, let's be true to ourselves, that would definitely ruin my experience and my day, and maybe I will be very angry about it. But our system just makes sure that that should not happen.
And so I know, which, especially in Europe, is going to be very popular, that we do have a plan for an anti-troll system.
Well, it's not like one singular system. It's more a number of precautions that we want to take. First of all, we will definitely limit the ability of players to platoon outside of their rank. So if you are in a top tier, you would not be able to invite the guy from the lowest ranking tier and go with him into battle and ruin everybody's day. So that will be definitely limited. What else? There will be prime times that will limit the amount of hours per day that you can play, meaning it will somehow limit the possibility of rigging battles in the top tier. Top tier, like top ranks, they won't be having a lot of people, so rigging there will be very noticeable. And because our matchmaker works in a way that you will be mostly facing people of your rank, it will be not that useful to actually rig battles, because even if you use like spare accounts or somebody's accounts for that, those accounts will go down in rating and you won't be able to rig with them anymore. So I won't be going through all the systems we plan, but we actually tried to do a lot of tweaking here and there to kind of make this system a little bit safer and more comfortable for players, not facing like the most horrific situations.
And so one of the main features from the game mode, which it's got a funky name for me, but I'm sure one of you can explain it very well, and that's called Super Platoons.
Yeah, exactly. You can play Onslaught mode in 3 different ways. You can do it solo, you can play with your friend, or even you can create your own 7-man team. So that is a Super Platoon. But do not be scary. So Super Platoons will be matched against Super Platoons most of the time until it's like 4 a.m. or something.
Okay.
And even if you match as a solo player against a Super Platoon, you will earn additional rating points if you will be able to win them, and you will less points if you manage to lose. You may also say that, oh my gosh, the Super Platoon will have a voice chat. They'll be playing in Discord or stuff like that. Do not be worried. We have a voice chat in a game, so you will be able to use them, even if you're playing solo or you're with friend. So yeah.
Okay, so I know it's a little bit of a break, but with the voice chat, do we need to worry about people vacuuming or taking out trash or to clean their room?
Yeah, there is no need to worry about it, because you'll still be able to mute them and they will not be interrupt your gameplay.
Okay, okay. And so why did we pick a Super Platoon as a function? Why would we have this?
Well, I guess all the players might remember Team Battles, where it was a game mode back at the time. We definitely always enjoyed the experience of playing team versus team, pre-assembled team against pre-assembled team ourselves. We know there is a lot of players who kind of would like this game mode to be returned, and we thought that that's definitely a great feature for our game mode. I think our game mode is the most suitable for that to be returned, because it's also a 7 versus 7, like Team Battles were. It's hard to assemble a team of 15 players, but you can try to assemble a team of 7 players. And as Yan already told, play against the other pre-assembled team competitively. I think that's a great feature. We need to have this more.
Yep. Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, we actually tried to do the stuff during the team clash, so you will be able to play with a team of the same blogger under their banners, but without voice chat. We know some teams create their own voice chat, so we decided that was a good idea and we implemented it into our game mode.
Okay. And why did we pick, I know we mentioned it on there, but with are we thinking about a different format of the game mode with 7v7? Is it a nice sweet spot with those things as well? What was the reason for it? I know you mentioned Team Clash already, but...
So we had plenty of experimentation with different amounts of players in different game modes. 7 versus 7 have been played in cybersports, been played in tournaments, being played in team battles, team clash, battle of bloggers, weekend brawl. So we have like a little bit deeper understanding of 7 versus 7, and that just feels right. Just like as you said, the sweet spot between like 5 versus 5 or 8 versus 8, or we just wanted to continue experimenting with it and moving forward with it.
And so another interesting feature that is pretty hard to find in our game, which is called the start of the battle lobby system mechanic.
Yeah, let me jump in because I guess it's subjectively my favorite part. It's something that I dreamed for a very long time. Basically, it sounds very simple. Basically, it's an ability to select your vehicle during the countdown of the battle. So you press to battle, you wait till Matchmaker do all its magics, you load into battle, and then you see all your vehicles available for you, you see your position, you see map that you will be playing on, you see vehicles of your teammates and how they switch these vehicles, so you see the team composition. You can even communicate your, strategy for this particular battle and select the needed tank. It really helps with variety, with, thoughtful gameplay, and having specific composition for specific maps. I do really enjoy the emotions that it brings. It's really a step up into like competitive gameplay.
Yep.
And to be honest, that might not look like a lot from the side, but that was a very hard feature. And I guess our development team made like a small miracle while implementing it. So kudos to our development guys.
Okay, and I think one of the big things for this is because I know we're going to talk about this a little bit later with the maps, but having this lobby system is going to be important strategically for that reason then, maybe?
You have different maps. They are have different specific objects and paths and ways to be played. So yeah, that should help a lot with approaching to your strategy to become number one in ranked system.
Okay, so are there going to be any restrictions on what you can do in this lobby system, or with what your choices are?
No, we don't think there's going to be any kind of restrictions, but you can, if you want to pick 7 EBRs or 7 mouses, you still can do it. You can even try to pick 7 RT, but keep in mind that Onslaught is still a competitive mode, and if you manage to win with the EBRs or RT mouses, it's on your choice.
Okay. Have a plan now.
If you win on 7 artists, send us a replay.
Guys, but keep in mind, you will be able to pick only vehicles that were prepared before a battle, so don't forget to repair them to send some crew and shells.
Okay, so that kind of leads very nicely into the next part, is that vehicles will have special abilities. So yeah, how does that look?
Well, every role of a vehicle have a specific tied to this role ability. Ability is more like an ultimate ability, like your ultimate tool inside the battle. You don't have it at the beginning of the battle because it's charged over time, slowly. It also charges when you do useful things like dealing damage, scouting, capturing the positions, and all the jazz. So it takes time. It takes time to recharge your ability, but after you have it, most of the abilities, like all of the abilities, are pretty impactful. For example, like my favorite 2 vehicles. Yes, I have favorite vehicles. Are E100 and E50m. So E100 have these mobile repair field that moves with him, and he can help his team by increasing the effective hit points of a team by basically slowly repairing vehicles nearby and repairing himself. And E50m, for example, have an ability, I don't know what will be the final name, but the working name is Berserker. So basically, when you press the ability and you enter the Berserker mode, you have faster reloads, and every time you deal damage in a close proximity, like for example, like in 100 meters, your ability not resets but prolongs. So when you enter this state and continue to deal damage, you can stay for longer and longer and longer. Like so that makes a perfect like brawler medium tank. But let's be honest, E50m not a small medium tank by any means. It makes him like an angry steamroller.
Okay.
That's kind of feels powerful. I guess Jan also have some favorites, examples.
I shouldn't allow to, because I'm one of the person who's responsible for balancing the game mode. I'm not allowed to have any favorites, but I would like to recommend you guys to at least try to super conk with his ability. So when you hit enemy, like unique enemy, you will have a gun reduction boost, and then after you want to heal yourself, you can trade the boost for hit points. Yeah, and also the push B ability. Its technical name, risky attack. So it allows you to be on the edge of attack. So during the first stage, you will get some mobility boosts, and in a second stage, you will receive or restore some HP that you lost during the first stage. So you can jump on an enemy, try to clip him, and if you somehow manage to survive, you will be able to do it once more, or even twice more, or third more. So yeah.
Okay. And so did you see any interesting combinations in a team, or like, I know we were talking previously, you said the E50m, where you were able to just do lots of ramming and just having 7 people just rolling along and just trying to ram a mouse tank maybe?
I remember some compositions where I specifically played a ramming E50 because we needed to rush center very aggressively, and I was the only E50 fan on our side of the team. So guys designated me to this role, like just pick E50m and go straight there. So that was fun. To be honest, we had plenty of playtests inside our team, and there was tons of different weird and crazy and fun compositions that people make. We might be talking for hours about them.
Yeah. So I do know that there's going to be a very extensive article later with all of the abilities and kind of like breakdown there. So it just take way too long for us to go through all of them now. So everything will be there. But one of the next big important facts of this game mode is the map pool and how they are tweaked for this game mode as well. So
yeah, we are planning to have 9 maps in the first launch of Onslaught mode. So, and for some maps, we made some terrain changes on, like for humans, we had more covers on the rail. For Anks, for example, we create more ways or passes on the rails as well. And for all of the maps, we added 2 more additional mechanics, key positions. So we can talk about it. We can do it right now.
So I know one of the big discussions, with this one is that with in Team Clash, the big issue was that you had people rushing to the cap circle and then ignoring the rest of the map. So how did you deal with that with some of the changes?
So basically coming back to that problem when we had Team Clash and Weekend Brawl and yada yada, we've seen that the matches become repetitive very fast. So they only have 1 center position, 1 goal. What was the joke? Like no kill, all cap?
Oh yeah, I trigger everybody because we have a phrase of kill all, cap none.
Yeah.
Like don't cap. My alternative is cap all, kill none. Just rush cap.
Yeah, so there was a lot of jokes about that during the Battle of the Bloggers. So basically, we were searching for certain ways to kind of bring more variety to the battles inside the game mode. First of all, yeah, you can now pick vehicles for the maps that already bring some variety, but then we needed some tools to give to players for them to create more strategies, more tactical moves maybe something that will help them clutch, maybe something that will help them to break this capturing of the base, or to to counterplay the enemy movement on one front. And we came up with these neutral positions, like that you can capture, and when you capture this position, it gives you an opportunity to use once a very special like skill or ability. Before we come into the types of these like positions, I would say that first of all, the positions have pretty long cooldowns after you capture them. So that's not something that you can like spam or use every 5 seconds, or just capture with your team and abuse for the length of all the match. And the second, there are some interesting counterplays with the positions, definitely. I guess Yan would like to talk about the types of positions.
Yeah, and in current launch, we're planning to have like 2 types of key position, Spotting 1 and RT. So like how you can get through their names. Spotting 1 will spot all the enemies for 3 seconds and remove fog of war. Yes, we also have a fog of war that will hide enemies that enemy team were picked during the lobby stage. And second one allows you to call an airstrikes that will do some amount of damage and stun enemies. We are not seeing an airstrike as a source of true damage or something like this. It should be a source of additional damage, and you can use it to prevent rush capping and stuff like that.
Okay. And so did you have a favorite key position in mind on a certain map? Is there the one that you would suggest to people is key? So for instance, on cliffs, is there one that you think, yes, this is the most important one on this map?
I can't say that I have like the favorite ones. I think the Sand River had just not maybe favorite one, but just the one that I regularly go to. Because on Sand River, I usually play medium tanks, maybe some Patterns, maybe some STBs, and there's just a very useful spotting position that I usually go to. But other than that, I can't, specifically name any.
Okay.
Maybe Yan have.
I would like to talk about the approaches with love and hate. So one of our colleagues decided to pick an E-bar, and E-bar, instead of use a spotting position, he tries to steal an RT position and instantly kill an airstrike on our heads. So yeah, so that's an interesting tactic.
Okay, so I do know because I have played it very little as well, that it was nice to sometimes give up those key positions to bait the enemy into getting them, and then you just get them caught out because they were so focused on get the cool thing, get the cool thing, get the cool thing. Oh no. But yeah, I know one of the big things is that this video will be released in time for Common Test, and you are looking for a lot of feedback on the key positions.
Yeah, that's true.
And would you like to give us a little bit more info? Tell everybody what it is that you're looking for from the feedback.
Well, basically, we know that there is no end to perfection. Yeah, so to be honest, there's a lot of stuff that we are not sure with the exact position of the key positions, and only extensive play testing and the feedback from players can help us find all the problems, all the small tweaks that we need to implement to make it better. And we will talk about the amount of maps that we have, but we will definitely plan to do more at some point, and we need to create some, magic formula to understand how we need to approach future maps. So it will be impossible without the feedback from the players that spend like tons of hours on the battlefield. I'm really looking forward to it.
Okay, and so that's going to be everything from this one. We're going to come back to you again with a second video. We're doing a question and answers. We will let you know to kind of leave in the comments, or you can do that now. Let us know what you want to know about in the next video. Maybe have a question for Dima, Yan, their favorite loadout, maybe their favorite tank, or how to get to #1 spot. Or again, if it's anything for the future, let us know. We'll be pulling it from other social media channels as well, and we will see you in the next video. Thank you very much, Yan, and thank you very much, Dima, for your time and energy, and we'll see you next time.